you are really at ground zero of like identity. You know, you're really like in the heart of whatever is identity. Can you see like the future of identity? Do you feel like you can tell us something about where this is going? Like where how people see them? Was that a like nobody's asked me that yet?
Yeah, no, that's a new one for sure.
Yes!
We win. Chad for the
we
win.
did it. We did it. We got there together.
The future of identity. I mean, gosh. Weirdly, I think part of the answer to that is that despite thousands of years of human social evolution, I think people are just as, if not more, vulnerable to the same age-old wants and desires that we've always been. The need for people to feel seen and feel affection and to sort of search for and long for love, I think is still so much a core foundational part of what makes us humans. Perhaps one of the most unique things about us as a mammal, while other mammals obviously do in some cases mate for life, very few share what can be kind of recognized as any kind of heartbreak or or crush or all of these strange complicated emotional feelings that we as humans feel, which I think is such a big part of our identity. I would say the future of human identity is just becoming more complicated and confusing, because now you have your physical identity, you have your digital identity, you have sort of your perceived identity, what you imagine people think of you, and it's becoming very mixed up. And I don't know how younger people are grappling with it. We're all sort of, I don't know how old you are, Chad, but
I
Ancient.
turned 35
Oh, he's young.
on
He's young.
Right,
I'm
okay.
old.
Sunday or something.
well, right. When they ask me, how can people still get catfished? The show's been on for so long. Everyone's got iPhones or smartphones. But the reality is that try to imagine being an 18-year-old person right now, figuring out who you are. I mean, it was hard enough for us before the internet, just in our school, in our local small community of people who we saw every day. I mean, to now have to compare yourself and be exposed to so many different ideas and sexualities and even just religions and belief systems. I mean, there's so much to try to filter through now to figure out who you are. So my best answer is probably just that I think the future of the human identity is unknown.
Okay.
Can I extrapolate this out a little? Because I was thinking about all movies and TV shows that have asked this same question. Her with Joaquin Phoenix, right? And even a Blade Runner at the end when he realizes she's an android, but he doesn't care. He's going to run off with her. But what Nēv was saying is that we've been doing this for hundreds of thousands of years of human existence. In the case of heterosexual attraction, with an eye towards having sex and increasing the population and propagating our species, right? There's also been homosexual love since the dawn of time too. But by and large, there's a desire to procreate. If you are in love with something that you cannot procreate with, how does that inform the future of humans? Are we talking about becoming like just digital remnants? Because there isn't, without that end goal, maybe it's a function of the earth being overpopulated. So the natural, we were selected into these groups where we go, we're not actually going to meet and breed, even if we could in real life. We're going to keep it on the cerebral tip and not actually continue to populate the earth, even though that has been our biological drive since the dawn of time.
That's a very dark and
I am
dismal
super
projection
dark.
of the future. But I like it. I mean, I can go even darker if you want. I mean, I like the idea of human beings sort of, I don't know, eliminating ourselves.
Right.
We've done so much damage, and the earth will eventually purge us anyway, or will sort of naturally happen, and it'll reset. And when you zoom out on the timeline of the universe, it will be a completely insignificant nothing.
Right.
And in a million or a billion years, the earth will have an entirely new, incredible species of beings and whatever. But at the same time, I was recently at a performance of New York City Ballet. I like dance, and I see a lot of dance. And a friend of mine premiered a new piece at New York City Ballet, performed by the orchestra to Aaron Copland music. And I just was sitting there looking at this incredible expression of movement and color and music. And I couldn't help but smile and think, wow, what an incredible, fucked up, but insanely beautiful thing that we choose to make art. It serves
Right.
no practical
No
function,
real,
and
yeah.
yet we make this incredible thing to express feeling and emote. And I don't know, I just was sort of reminded of the beauty of human beings for a moment in a sort of fleeting, ephemeral, burst of joy.
I love that. I love that. And I think that it's not, even in my darkness of saying there's going to be a self-selecting group that decides not to procreate by keeping their
Right.
relationships strictly digital or non-physical, there's always going to be procreation.